Vacation Bible School is one of my favorite parts of the year. It's one of the weeks when our campus has the most energy, the most activity, the most people around, and it's just such an exciting time. But I wanted to take a little bit of time out of this excitement of VBS here to tell you about something else that has me excited, and that's our church finances. There are two pieces of really good news that I wanted to tell you about. The first piece of good news is our regular budget. This is the budget that sustains our missions and ministries, that pays our staff, that keeps the lights on here, just all of those normal operating expenses that we have. Last year, in 2021, we had one of the best budget years that we have had in a long time. And in 2022, we are doing just as well so far. We are on track to have just as good a year this year as we did last year. Your giving is fully funding all of our missions and ministries and all of our regular expenses, and that is absolutely wonderful. The second piece of good news that I wanted to tell you about is our capital campaign. As you know, the capital campaign that we conducted last fall was primarily about paying off the final debt for this building that we're in right now. This building allows us to do some things that we really couldn't do any other place on our church campus. Things like Vacation Bible School here just would not really fit in any of the other spaces that we have. But we needed about $520,000 to pay off the last remaining debt, and that's why we conducted our capital campaign to retire the debt on this building here. We needed to raise $520,000, but the good news is that we had $907,000 that was pledged. Even better is that we are less than a year into the period of actually collecting those pledges, that 3-year process, and already, less than a year in, we have collected $420,000. Very soon we will have collected what we need to pay off the debt on this building and be completely debt-free once again. So those are the facts of where we stand right now, but I'd like to take just a minute to talk to you as your pastor about what these facts mean for the life of our congregation. The facts are that we are very close to where we need to be with the debt, but as your pastor, I want to tell you, to assure you that the best part of our journey begins after that, after we have retired the debt. We've already started to lay the groundwork for a church-wide process this fall to make some decisions about how we would spend our capital campaign surplus. And friends, I want to tell you, there is just so much that is possible. I think the next few years could be just an incredibly exciting time for our church family. Whether we renovate some of our older facilities or our older assets, whether we use that money to start new missions or new ministries, whether we invest some of it to serve our community, whatever we do, our surplus capital campaign money has the opportunity to springboard us to some really new and wonderful places. So we are on the cusp of a very bright future, and I want that to encourage you. You are helping us to do something that is truly extraordinary here at Hampton Baptist. But I want to remind you that we can only get to that place if you continue to do what you're doing. Things are going so well with the budget, to be honest, and with the capital campaign that you may be tempted to wonder whether the congregation really needs your money and needs your financial support. Let me assure you, we do. We certainly do. If you pledge to the capital campaign, we need you to honor that pledge if you are at all able to do so. And if you contribute to the regular budget, to the operating budget, we appreciate so much your gifts that make our missions and ministries and our service possible. It's when you continue to give financially in those two ways that we'll have the surplus that we need to do some big things. As your pastor, you have my commitment that I will do everything that is possible to help us use the money that you give in a way that leaves a mark first on our church and also on our community. I will not be satisfied if we don't use this surplus in a way that changes our present and changes our future. This is a strong church, this is a good church, but we can be more than we are right now. We can do more than we do right now, and we should be more and do more. And that's not because we have anything to prove or because we're trying to make a name for ourselves as a church or anything like that. It is because we serve a God who is so glorious that we cannot help but bring anything less than our best to our worship, to our education, to our mission, to our service. Finishing strong on our capital campaign and keeping a strong annual operating budget will both help us get to that place where we can bring an even better version of ourselves and an even better version of our church before a holy God. So thank you for what you have already done up to this point, and thank you for what you will continue to do, I know, over the next 2 years to keep our financial future secure. Most of all, on a personal level, thank you for trusting me to be your pastor and to walk this journey with you. The best really is yet to be.